What's up, y'all? This is a breakdown video, gym edition. So in this video I'll be explaining to you guys about things to bring to the gym, certain supplements, and these are for my beginners. So if you're not a beginner, this might not be for you. But other than that, let's get started. Alright, so this is what we call a squat belt. This is pretty much thicker than a typical smaller belt, but I like to use this for squatting and typically for overall use as well because it's really good on the back. But it's really easy and simple, super simple to use. All you do is you put it on your back just like this, and whatever your optimized waist size is right here, all it is you put it through the little metal bracket as so, and then just put these in the little prongs, and then as soon as it's done, you just tuck it in and you're ready to go. So all you do now is you put the weight on your back and then you squat down and it supports your lower back. So real quickly, honestly, same thing, but all this is it latches on. So it's got a little latch instead of a little hook. So all you do is just you latch it on right here and then snap and boom, you're ready to go. Okay guys, so this is a smaller waisted belt, so honestly it's the same thing. It's not necessarily for squatting. It can be if you really want to. It honestly just depends on your opinion. A lot of this stuff is going to be opinion based, but I like to use this for more easier reps or just something that just is more like just a little bit of extra back support, but nothing too crazy like that big fat one. But it's the same thing, so all it is, just same little thing. Put it through a little metal bracket like this, and then you close it whatever your optimal waist size is, and you're ready to go. Okay, so this is what we call a bar pad. It's very, very useful, and what you do is you just latch it onto the bar, let's say like if my arm was the bar, and then all you do, it just goes either right here on your neck, or it can go on your legs, depending on wherever you're, you're typically when you use this, you're using a lot of weight, and it's it's pressure on your neck or pressure on your stomach or just whatever movement you're doing. It's very useful to use and it's very safe as well. Okay, so these are wrist straps. The worst part about the gym, especially as you start, lifting heavier weight, is calluses. Calluses suck ass. So, in order to prevent calluses, typically people wear gloves, or they have, wrist straps, or just something to, support their wrist or support their, calluses, which is, a glove. So these are really simple, really simplified. It's just a little glove right here. You have these little parts that poke out. You want to make sure you get, best optimal use, and then all you this is actually a built-in wrist strap. So typically what a wrist strap does, it just helps you, whether it uses less forearm or just whatever with the weight. It's very optimal to use. It's very flashy too and it's just awesome in general. Okay, so this is what we call a weight clip. Now typically most gyms have those little metal clips that you squeeze and they latch onto the bar, and some gyms you don't even need them because of the thickness of the barbell. But I will say that these are very useful and I love these so much, and these got me everywhere because I cannot squeeze those things sometimes. It's just too much. Sometimes it's it's just whatever. But these things are great. They just slide onto the bar, whatever weight, and it stops, close it, you're done. Okay, so these are another variation of grips. Basically, these can go on a barbell or even a dumbbell, or mainly for a straight bar, for a straight bar curl. These just optimize, length and just, good form, and just are very good in general. Also are pretty good on the calluses as well, because sometimes, those bars can be very, dirty and whatnot, and also just, it's hard on the calluses and it sucks. But these, I recommend them. I don't necessarily use them as much, but, these are great. Also, I will admit, it's really good to try to build up your calluses, even though it sucks, and I know sometimes you can't even get a rep through, but I mean, trying to build that scar tissue around your calluses and just making your calluses stronger into where, you don't need all these extra equipment things is always great. But everyone's different, and that's totally okay. Let's move on to the next thing. Alright, last but not least are your knee sleeves. These are probably one of my favorite tools in the gym. Literally, this is a lifesaver. First of all, it's great for right here where your arm connects right here. Great for shoulder movements, and also great for curls as well. If the weight's a little bit too much, just put this on right here. Of course, you have another one, and then you're ready to go for whatever you need. It really can help you support, but mainly right here, it's made for the knees, and obviously it's made for squatting mostly. So super simple. It just goes on your foot like that. Bring it up all the way up here. You want to keep it up about halfway, where half's a little bit down by your calf and half's up here above your knee, of course. And there you go. Now you're ready to squat. Alright, so real quickly, this is the last item for more equipment. This is chalk, more for my powerlifters, but can be optimized for anybody. Same thing, it's mainly for calluses and just for grip and strength and sweat, but it can go both ways with chalk, but it's very ideal, but it can be an expense and it can be a hassle sometimes, but chalk is also great. Anyways, let's move on to more supplements now. Alright, y'all, so that is the equipment subject done. So now we're moving on to supplements. Best part, in my opinion, besides the equipment. And we're going to start off with the blender bottle. Blender bottle is super important. I'm sure all of you already know what it is, but it comes in three parts: the lid, the metal ball, and the blender bottle itself. Super simple. You pour in whatever dietary supplement you have, put the ball in, shake it up. You typically use water or milk, and then you're good to go. Let's go right to the most simplest one, protein powder. There is millions of protein powder, and it's honestly just personally and opinion based. I use whey protein, and I use a couple other ones, but honestly, I'm not too picky about my protein. Protein's really protein. But honestly, remember, there's one thing I want you to know about all these supplements I'm going to let you know. You can't live off them. You can't live off mass gainer or, protein or, this, that, and the other. You have to eat real food, like eggs and chicken and rice. You have to eat your real protein before this. But obviously, this is great to have in your shakes in your morning or in the afternoon or whatever you're going to use it for. But optimize in a protein powder. Definitely have protein. You want to keep your protein high in order to build muscles. And yeah. Alright, so as shady as this bottle looks, this is what we call pre-workout. Pre-workout is a stimulant to keep you and wake you up, and there's all different types of pre-workout, that can make your face tingly, and certain ones, but pre-workout will make your heart race. I don't recommend it if you have any heart issues or anything, but also another thing to keep in mind is you want to have a pre-workout shaker bottle. You don't want to have a big one because this is caffeine, so you want to keep it down to the proper dosage for you and for what it says on the dietary supplement label. But I really recommend a smaller shaker bottle, or just if you have to have a big shaker bottle, put in a very small amount to start off with. It's basically caffeine with some flavor, but really be careful with your pre-workout because that can get to different places. I've heard lots of stories about it, but just be careful. But pre-workout is very optimal if you are working out in the morning because you have work in the afternoon, or if you're just feeling sluggish that day. I really recommend pre-workout. It can really boost your adrenaline, and it can really make you really go hard in the gym. Let's move on. Okay, so the best product in my opinion is BCAA. BCAA is great, and it's super great. You know why? It helps recover the muscles. If you go hard in the gym like I do, I really recommend this because it will give your muscles best optimal growth besides resting and eating and staying healthy. But BCAA is really good, and I really recommend it. So I would try to find one that matches for what you're trying to do and you're descriptive and of course ingredient wise. But muscle recovery is very important, and you want to make sure that after you go to the gym, you take this right away, even before or post workout. So here is a supplement that I take, but some people have mixed feelings about it and obviously or have the wrong idea about it. Creatine. Creatine is a supplement that builds water into your muscles. It is not a steroid, and it can be or cannot be classified as one. People have lots of opinions about creatine, or they think that if they take a dosage a day, they'll get massive. So you have something called a loading phase with creatine. You have to take lots of creatine during the same day for a few days, and then take 1 scoop a day and maintain that. And what it does basically is it will build water into your muscles, and your muscles for ultimate growth. They'll should appear larger, but in reality it's just water that's stored up in your muscles. But creatine is a great supplement to take, especially if you're trying to look bigger, and there's a lot of things about creatine that you can read on your own. It's a lot to go into, but I really recommend creatine if you want to have a little extra oomph to your workout, and especially if you want to start looking bigger. But just remember, be careful with what you use, be careful about the dosage, and read about it before you take it. Okay, so this is more of an overlooked product, but this is what we call mass gainer. Mass gainer is basically easy calories, basically. So, very simple. You put it in milk, whatever flavor, you blend it or whatnot, and then there you go. There's an easy 2,000 calories or 1,000 calories, or depending on how many scoops per serving and whatnot. But mass gainer is very optimal. Just remember, you cannot live off mass gainer. You cannot live off, a liquid, basically calories. You can if you have to or whatnot, but I really recommend mass gainer, especially if you're trying to bulk and then cut, or just if you're trying to gain some weight. Eat it between meals, have it, before, or after a workout, and just keep it up. Just maintain your mass, because I know, if you're starting off, you might not be the biggest, and you probably are trying to gain some weight. So I would definitely recommend mass gainer throughout in between, your day and your meals, and just, try to gain that extra weight. And if you don't like mass gainer, that's okay. But I personally try to take as much mass gainer as I can. Sometimes I lack on it, but honestly, it's just opinion based. So yeah, but remember, real food is optimal. Real food is what your body needs, not just mass gainer. But keep that in mind. Alright, so my last but not least is something called testosterone booster. Now, I don't necessarily recommend this. I don't necessarily take this actually, but this is for my older people who maybe have less testosterone and just need it for the gym. You know, I definitely recommend trying to find some testosterone or just something that will help boost that extra, you know, in you. And, you know, this is not necessarily for my younger guys because, you know, I'm young, so I don't really need testosterone. But sometimes it's good to have if you're really trying to get, you know, somewhere. But I don't really take testosterone, but I just want to throw it out there. Testosterone, if you have to use it, you need to, it's probably best, especially if you're trying to go gym, like, you know. But yeah, so let's move on and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video, but I just want to say real quickly, besides all the supplements or the equipment, just go to the gym and have fun. Before you invest in everything about the gym and try to go crazy, just go to the gym for a few times and just, you know, in your comfortable range, just try to just play around with some things, you know, ask people there some questions, talk to some of the front desk associates, you know, just do what you need to do to get comfortable in the gym. But the gym is a great community and the people there are so supportive and so nice. But besides, you know, all those accessories and all those supplements, work on yourself first, you know, go to the gym and just see what you see what you want to do. I recommend finding a goal and, you know, finding a plan and, you know, maybe trying to get some personal training done if you can, you know, if you can't afford it or if you want to do it. And if not, just go on YouTube and search up certain videos. And if you're only working at home, then that's okay too. But I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, comment, and, you know, share, do whatever you please. And if you have any questions, just comment down below and I would love to hear out from you. I will also have my Instagram in the bio, so, you know, you can DM me if I respond, and I would love to help you guys out if you need more questions. Later on, I will do more of a deeper dive and everything. But for the meantime, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.